Sup people, we are getting our makeup did because I have 45 minutes till the audition. So I thought while I'm doing this, getting audition ready, I thought I will answer some questions that I found on the internet about auditions. Let's see if I can answer them. I'm not saying I'm an expert at anything, to be honest. Not one bit. But what I am saying is that I have some experience and I've auditioned quite a bit. How's everyone in lockdown? Like literally, how is everyone going? Because it's tough. I am lucky, or grateful I should say, Hannah. I'm grateful to the fact that I have a house and everything, and all we have to do is pretty much sit here, and I'm grateful that I have work to go on with. But man oh man, I thought I was a homebody and this takes it to a whole nother level. I'm going to use the lens, the viewfinder, sorry, but I do need to make sure that I look good. My skin looks fine, but for auditions I do tend to put on foundation. All I have is moisturizer on. So I'm no makeup guru, so I'm not going to go through exactly what the stuff is. If you want me to do this again and actually go product by product, I can, but it's an eclectic array of products. I just don't do it. Cool. Do I need any experience to audition for live arts theatre? What's live arts theatre?
Okay, I found this on the web for What's Live at Theatre. Check it out.
By the way, the audition is for a short film. Pretty sure it's a short film, Emma, and that is the audition. And so I'm going for the role of Emma, Harriet, and a girl called Catherine. So, okay. Do I need any experience to audition for live arts theatre? If live arts theatre is just live theatre, I think, I don't know, maybe I'm the dumbest actor of them all if I don't know what this means. Like damn Natalie, you put too much of this on your skin. It blends in, trust me. But look, now I look like I don't have bags. Now I look like I'm kind of well rested, but I have smaller eyes. Do I need an appointment or can I just show up? Wow. Okay, so there's auditions called generals or open call auditions. Those ones you can literally, I don't know, sometimes they ask you to register for them and say if you're going to be interested in doing them, or sometimes you can just show up and whoever gets there, whoever's in line next is in line next kind of thing. Whereas the auditions that I tend to do, because we don't really have generals here, we do, but I have never really gone for them. Get submitted for something and then they book in an appointment. So right now my audition's at 2 o'clock and it's 1:20. So I know in advance what time I'm expected to be ready and stuff like that. You know what? And I kind of like these auditions better. I mean, if you get the audition, it's great. If you don't, well, it's harder to get the audition because they only have a limited amount of spots. But I do quite enjoy it because, you know, I can do whatever I want during the day and then I'm like, okay, it's just like another appointment. If you can hear the rain, I apologize. It is the worst day to film. I swear. Like, you have no idea what this ISO is up on, like my camera settings, just so that you can kind of see me, because that's how dark it is in this room. Blush. How do I get an appointment? Wow. Lovies. Okay, so if it's two ways. If you're freelancing, then you submit yourself for something. The casting director says, yep, successful. These are the audition dates. Well, actually they kind of tell you the audition dates, but these are the audition times. Which one suits you best? Oh shit, that nearly went everywhere. And they go, oh, right, and then you kind of book it in. And then if it's not, then your agent pretty much does all the talking and tells you just when and where kind of thing. what is a submission and how do I do this? Okay, so a submission is basically when you submit yourself to an audition. So usually you express your interest by giving them your name, your number and everything, your CV, your headshot, your show reel, any other evidence that says pick me. You submit yourself on sites. There's sites like Star Now, there's sites like Casting Network, Showcast, things like that. You can submit yourself, or mostly Casting Network and Showcast are also sites for casting directors to kind of see you and whatever. But those are the sites. I don't know, you can also go on Facebook forum groups and they sometimes put out auditions. It depends. How do you submit yourself? It's sometimes by email, sometimes that's by self-tape, sometimes they just want a text from you. Like you can do it many different ways. It depends on the casting director's preference. Do I need to prepare anything? This depends. They've given you sides, then they tell you whether they want them memorized or not. I tend to memorize them as much as I can, because then I can be more prepared in the audition room and just like, I don't have to worry about the lines. I can just really think about the character that I'm portraying, or if they say, hey, can you do it this way? It's like, I can easily just adapt. For instance, this audition that I'm doing, they literally gave me the entire script to read. So it sounds more cash. She's just like, read it if you can, which I did. And, if you have any pages that you want to do specifically, we'll read through those. Otherwise, we'll just see what happens. I don't know. Usually you get sides and usually you have to do those sides. But usually I do self-tapes. I've never done a Zoom one before, ever, as I've said before. So, and I kind of just do that makeup. It's just really cash. You have to like try to look like your headshot. Now my headshots obviously were done last year in September. And like, I'll put my headshot here. I don't look like that, which is the first time ever that I've never looked like a headshot in my life. I probably have another headshot that I kind of look like more, to be honest, that I probably should be using. They kind of want to see your natural state, so I don't do anything to my hair. I don't straighten it. Sometimes I do curl it, but other times I just kind of let it do its thing, and like, this is what I look naturally. This is your canvas to work with. What would you like to do? That's why you keep to a very minimalistic makeup. I don't tend to go wild with eyeshadow or color or anything. It's just enhancing the features that I already have. Find material for an audition. This is a very good question. And I think I'm going to do a whole video on that by itself. Like, which scripts should you gravitate towards, and which scripts, why is that so hard to say, you should just say a no to. When should I arrive? Okay, I'll say this while I'm packing up, shall I? Now, a lot of people make fun of me because I am a very prompt person. Now, I don't know if it's because how I was trained, not sure, but also my mum is a very prompt person. We don't like to be late. We don't like to be even a second late. Instead, I say, if you're 15 minutes early, you are on time. If you are on time, you are late. It's always good to be early. You never know. And sometimes they might tell you something else. Maybe they tell you have to be half an hour early or whatever. Think about it. I actually tend to be more half an hour early, especially if I'm not coming from home. Especially if I'm going away from home, if I'm like doing an audition somewhere else. You don't know the parking. I mean, I do look up the parking to see where I could park potentially on the day, but you have to make sure that you're parking, you park, you're fine, you can spritz yourself up, you have time to do that, because what if it's a hot day, what if it's a cold day, what if you need a little bit of touch-ups, things like that. So I really tend to do that, like be half an hour early, and then when you get in there, I make sure it's 15 minutes, sometimes 10, because they might be seeing other people, and sometimes if you're early, it can actually pressure them. So I tend to be like 10 to 15 minutes early, just in case they don't need me to fill out any forms, or if they have to give me some sides. unless I prepared sides before because they've given that to me earlier. Who knows? It changes, it depends on this. Didn't realise I actually knew a lot of these questions. What will I be asked to do at the audition? Again, I think I'll leave that all to another video because it is currently 1:30. I'm made up, as you can tell. This took 15 minutes, not even, and I was talking, so I'm going to check if I look okay. But first, we're going to change out of this and get into something else. And here we are. You can't see the colour really because the lighting, but this is a dark green colour. Usually if it was like a self-tape, I'd probably, depending on the day of time, like if you can see it, I usually try to make this not as dark as my hair. I usually tend to wear not white but like blues, royal colours, things that stand out on camera and that are really attractive to you on camera. But when you go in for an audition, I tend to just wear something that I would wear on a first date, like you're making a first impression. Or it depends on the character. If you want to, like for instance, I had a audition for a 50s kind of role. I didn't dress up as the 50s, but I did wear a skirt and different heels instead of pants, you know, just so they can kind of see what you might look like. So it's a hint of the character rather than dressing up as the character. Yes, okay, but I'm going to get ready and tidy this place up because it is a right old mess, and I shall see you on the other side. Bye guys.